Hiya, I'm just going to explain PHP sessions to you quickly if I can, give you a little demonstration, a little example of how they work. So, first of all, PHP sessions, what are they? Well, they are a way for us to store information across more than one page of our website to keep track of things without having to write it to a database or anything like that. So we can keep track of variables, keep track of whatever piece of data across our whole website until the user leaves or logs out. So we start a session surprisingly using session underscore start. Now you're going to need to know that for the exam, session underscore start. That's how you either, if the session isn't already created, you create it rather, and if it has been created already, if it's been started already, then that'll join you to it. So you basically put this at the beginning of every page that's going to be using the session, that's going to be part of the session, that needs access to the variables or whatever that you're working with. So, examples of where you might use this are, the example I'm about to use is of a user login, so keeping the user logged in across several pages. They log in on one page, but then as they move throughout the website, they stay logged in. Like a shopping basket, for example, that would be another application. That's the word I'm looking for. Another application of it. So as user moves about the website shopping, they've still got the items in their basket. Okay, so session underscore start. Remember, PHP is case sensitive, and that's important here because we create variables that are stored in the session. They are session variables, and the way you refer to them is dollar underscore and then uppercase session, square brackets, and then in single quotes inside the square brackets you put the name of your variable, so whatever you want it to be. And we can refer to our variables like that at any point, quite often within a page, just for readability and to save us just readability, so we don't have this extra sort of extra text here. You might want to assign the contents of a session variable to just a normal PHP variable. But anyway, we'll look at that later. We'll look at a practical example. So the other thing you need to know, so you need to know all these things in bold here for the exam, that a session is finished using session underscore destroy. So that happens automatically if the user leaves the website. That will happen automatically, or you can, if you let them log out, you could connect that to the session destroy command. So here I'll try to help you visualize what's going on, help you understand what's going on. So I've got just a short example here, 2 pages on my website. Here's the first page, here's what the client's seeing. So there's a little form for the username and password to be entered, a little submit button, and then on the server we've got our database is stored there. Okay, a very small database of users. So this is just an example of how we might let someone log in. First of all, we use the session start command on the page. Okay, so within that page, session underscore start, and what that will do is just the server will create a session ID, and within that it's going to store all our session variables. Then user types in their username, their password, they click submit, and off it goes. It queries the database, so it does a little search for req, checks to see if the password typed in matches that password, or rather the hash of that password matches the hash of this. Matches this. Sorry. So it checks to see if it's a valid login. Let's assume it is. then what it'll do is it will assign what it finds as the username, what it finds as the user type here, and any other fields that we want to work with. It'll assign them to these session variables. Okay, or it's not going to do that automatically. I maybe implied it's automatic. The programmer will assign those values to session variables. Okay, so when they're in the session variables, they're stored on the server, and that means as long as we access the session from any other page, we can access these session variables. Okay, so now we go on to the next page, and on the second page, not a great deal going on here, but this stuff's still on the server. So we're on to page 2, but this stuff's still on the server. This is just what the client's seeing. A really exciting blank page with a logout button. But if we use session start at the beginning of that page, so it's going to check to see if there's a session ID already. If not, it creates it. If there is, then it's joining that session. It's giving us access to that session. Okay. We can now access the session variables any way we like. Just treat them as you would any other variable. So, for example, echoing the contents of one of the session variables. That's fine. You know, you can do that sort of thing. And then when the user clicks log out, or they just exit the website on their browser, then the session will be destroyed. But if we want it to happen actively when they click a logout button or whatever, then we use session_destroy, and that's it. That's the basics of it. So it's a powerful tool in our web development. Lets us do far more interesting things, I would say, and you've quite possibly investigated it already for your project. But there you go. Hope that helps you to understand things a little bit more. See ya.